Okay, so yesterday we started the risk-taking topic and we did cover the definition and the nature of risk. Today we'll do the causes of risk. Business risk can be caused due to the following reasons. What all are the causes of risk, and we'll see how they are caused. First is economic causes. Economic aspects related to the business, such as shortage of raw material, interruption in power supply, trade cycles, lack of finance, change in technology, etc., give rise to business risks. So when we say economic causes, anything related to the financial aspect of the business that can cause a threat, or that can be risky or uncertain in the business, is involved in the economic causes. Okay, so what are the things that are involved? We have seen that shortage of raw material, there can be shortage of raw material. There is always a risk that we can run out of raw material and there may not be supply available for more. For example, recently in the lockdown, a lot of businesses suffered because they could not deliver the product to the customers, as well as they could not get raw material from the suppliers. Okay, then interruption in power supply, there can be a power failure, there can be a natural calamity that occurs. Trade cycles, obviously trade cycles, the cycle of boom and depression, you may have already studied about those. So the trade cycles also affect the economic conditions of the business. The lack of finance means lack of money or lack of investment, lack of capital also can occur. We may run out of money, we may get a sudden expense that we have to bear from the point of view of business. There may be changes in tax rates, etc. Okay. Then change in technology. There is always a threat of change in technology. There is always a possibility that the technology can change. Every single day there is new technology being introduced, being innovated, right? So there is always a threat in front of any entrepreneur that he or she can face the change in technology. Okay, and as soon as a new technology comes into the market, the old technology gets outdated. Okay. Then second is social cause. Change in social activities, such as change in fashion, change in traditions, change in taste and habits, etc., give rise to business risks. Okay, so social changes can be related to the society, related to the people, related to the public. So change in social activities, there may be a change in beliefs, there may be a change in thinking. Alright, then change in fashion, obviously taste and preferences keep on changing. Change in traditions, so traditions change. For example, let's say weddings, a lot of things have been changed since past years that were followed in traditionally, but they are not followed anymore, or there are new traditions that are introduced. So society can change its traditions. Then change in taste and habits, it is also connected to this taste and preferences or fashion. These give rise to risk in business. So the societal aspect, the values, beliefs, traditions, customs, the way of living of people, all these things usually keep on changing, and nobody has any control over it. Okay. Then natural causes. Natural events and calamities also produce risk to the business. Natural events such as flood, drought, cyclone, earthquake, etc. increase the business risk. These are uncontrollable risks. So a businessman has to bear these risks. Okay. So natural causes can include anything that is out of the control of man. For example, there can be a natural calamity, just like floods, right? Tsunami struck a few years back. Then there's earthquakes in a lot of places. Nobody can fight it. Nobody can stop it. Okay, we just have to bear the consequences. Then pandemic can also be included in natural causes. This pandemic could not be controlled. Obviously, it was through a man-made virus, but the effects could not be controlled. It started spreading, and we were not able to control it. Okay, so these risks cannot be controlled and can be included under the natural causes. Then next is human causes. Human factors such as strike, lockout, inefficiency, dishonesty and carelessness of the workers, etc. also produce risk to the business. Although these factors can be minimized by the efficient management, but cannot be avoided fully. Okay, so human aspect causes a lot of risks, like maybe the employees do not agree with the terms and policies that the employer has introduced, which gives rise to the human cause or human factor of risk. Then there is always inefficiency, dishonesty and carelessness of workers. Okay, so when employees work, if they are not looked over or they are not supervised, they do not work with efficiency. They do not pay attention in their work. Alright, they may ignore some things that may cause a threat. There may be ignorance, and there can be fire or a short circuit in the factory, and that may cause a huge amount of loss to the employer. Then other causes. What are other causes? Some are other causes such as change in government policy. Okay, time to time the government keeps on changing the business policies, so there can be change in government policy. Communal conflicts, there can be riots of any kind. Changes in international scenarios, etc. also create risk for the business. Okay, so like right now when the lockdown was going on, any international trade, even domestic trade suffered so much, and because of which all the businesses suffered a lot of loss. Okay, so causes of risk are very simple. These are 5 causes that we can identify that may pose a risk for the business. Okay, I hope everybody understands this. These are very simple points, so nothing to explain too much. Now we come to the types of risks. Okay, what are the basic types of risks, different types of risks that a business has to face? First is financial risk. Okay? That is the most common kind of risk that every business has to face. Any new venture has to face a financial risk of various types. First, one may not be able to get adequate capital from the capital market. Okay, obviously there may be a possibility that we may not be able to arrange for the sufficient amount of funds that we require in the business, and from the financial institution, and the project may not materialize, or an entrepreneur may be forced to borrow an extraordinary cost which may upset all the calculations and may make venture more risky than planned. Okay, so before we start the venture, we have to present a project report. Okay, every entrepreneur is supposed to present a project report for getting any kind of financial assistance or help that they need for the business. This financial assistance is is provided by judging or going through the project proposal that is submitted by the entrepreneur. This project proposal includes calculations or projections or estimates of amounts that they have planned for next few years. Okay, like for the next 5 years, what would be the expected amount of cost involved, how many employees are they going to hire, what would be their total remuneration that is to be given to them, what would be the cost of raw material, what would be the processing cost. Okay, all the costs are calculated. Obviously they are estimated, not the exact cost. So they provide an estimate, and based on that they provide a projection of the amount of profit they may earn in the next few years, in the next 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. Okay, they also provide the details of when they are going to meet, when they expect to meet the break-even point. Everybody knows what break-even point is. What is break-even point? What is it? Please tell me. Can anybody tell? Yes, very good. So no profit, no loss situation. A situation where your costs are covered but you end up earning no profit. Alright? Yes, very good. So you all understand what a break-even situation is. So when I present the proposal, I create that proposal on an estimate. Okay, and that estimate is based on the data or the information that we collect from the market around us. For example, if I have to put in the proposal that how much loan am I going to borrow and how much is it going to cost me. Now capital also costs the entrepreneur. How? They have to give interest in return for that, right? So for example, I borrow a sum. I am planning to borrow a sum of 1 lakh rupees, and this 1 lakh rupee I can borrow at a rate of 10%. Okay, now I have estimated that it is 10%. What will happen if I get when I actually go for taking the loan, I get it at 20%. Okay, the rates may increase or whatever the conditions may be. I may not be provided the loan from where I had thought I may get it. So I have to switch to other options, and that option is more expensive. Now when I get the loan at 20%, what it means is I will have to bear the double cost of capital that I was expecting in the proposal, right? So it may end up either discouraging the entrepreneur to even set up the organization, or it may cost too much for them to survive in the market. Okay, then there may be fall in selling prices due to sudden increase in internal competition. Okay. So there may be a fall in selling prices due to sudden increase in internal competition from existing or new players, new substitutes of foreign goods. The entrepreneur has to take the risk of financial uncertainty. Okay, so financial risk obviously is the most prone kind of risk that every organization has to face. Okay, then next we come to marketing risk. Many a times an entrepreneur at the time of setting up a plant is not able to gauge exactly how consumers will behave, will like a product or not, and if like up to what extent. Thus, there is a great uncertainty about the future size of the market. Many products failed because they could not meet the expectations of the consumers and they were forced to close down their establishment. Thus, there is a great risk and uncertainty how consumers will react to a particular product. However, entrepreneurs have tried to reduce this risk by test marketing and consumer research on a continuous basis. Okay, so marketing risk is the type of risk that can be minimized with the right kind of tools used. Okay, when we are marketing the product, marketing is an activity that starts right from the point of conceptualizing the product. When I am thinking about what I should be producing or what kind of business I should be setting up, from that very moment marketing starts. Okay, how marketing is thinking from the point of view of customers, what they may like, what they desire, what their demand is, what their needs are. Okay, so when I design a product or a service, it is obviously for the customers. Agree? So, when I design a product, it is for the customers, right? Now, the best practice would be that I think of the product or I design the product in such a way that the customers may require, that the customers may want. Okay, for example, let's take an example of let's say what can we do? Okay, so we are using Google Meet, right? We are using this platform for online classes. Okay, every time, if you have ever hosted a class or if you have ever hosted a meeting through Google Meet or any other platform like Zoom or anything, even through WhatsApp call, when you end the meeting or when you end the call, it asks for your opinion. It asks for how the call went, right? Have you seen? Has anybody seen that? Yes, okay. So you know what I'm talking about. What is that? That is a feedback that the organization or the company wants to take from us, that did we like the service or not. If you do not rate it to the maximum stars, if you do not rate it to all the 5 stars, if you give maybe 4 stars or 3 stars, it will give you options. It will show what were the problems that you faced. Okay, you can mark or you can tick or even you can write what problems you were facing. What they are trying to do through this is that they are trying to get your problems and use them as ways to solve and make their products better. This is what every organization does usually when they are even starting to produce a product. Okay, they get inspiration from other products and produce it in a way that does not include the negative aspects or the negative points or problems that were in the previous product or the product that their competitor is producing. Okay, so here also we have mentioned, see, many a times an entrepreneur at the time of setting up a business or plant is not able to gauge exactly how customers will behave. Okay, that is the risk. What the customers will like, what they may like, what they may not like. You cannot be sure of a customer, or you cannot be sure of the taste and preferences of the customers. Take yourself for example. You, if I ask you today about what you would like to have for lunch, okay, what would everybody want to have for lunch? Let's see what everybody wants to have for lunch. If you could have anything in the world, okay, what would you want for lunch today? Tell me. Come on, reply. This is a simple question. If given a choice that you could have anything in the world, what would you want to have for lunch today? Okay, Pallavi wants to have dal chawal. Alright, good. I also like dal chawal. What else? Nobody else is going to have lunch. Okay, Dinky Vadeja wants Rajma Chawal. Nice. Alright. Jaya Sarab wants to have Chole rice. And come on, quickly. Okay, Khyati also wants Chole rice. Very nice. Come on, I want to hear from everyone. Now I'm talking about anything in the world. You can have anything in the world right now. Okay, Simran wants biryani. Nice. Sanjana wants kadai paneer. That's also good. Come on, quickly. We don't want to waste time. That's it. Nobody wants to have anything else. Okay, so let's just assume that everybody else. Okay, Nancy wants paneer pizza. Nice. So let's assume that everybody who has not answered is on a fast today. Okay, let's consider that. So all the choices that you have given to me, let's assume that I provide you with that lunch choice today. Okay, I provide you with the same lunch choice in the evening for dinner. I provide you with the same choice tomorrow in lunch. It may be possible that you may have it today, you may have it tomorrow, you may have it in the evening, but there can also be a possibility that once you have it, you may not feel like having it again, right? There is possibility? Yes or no? Okay, for some it is yes, for some it is no. That is what we are talking about here. Okay, say that we are not able to gauge means judge or measure that exactly how customers will behave. Even the customers themselves don't know how they will behave. Okay, so things keep on changing very rapidly. Okay, it may depend on the mood of the customer, it may depend on the climatic conditions, it may depend on the sort of social background they come from, it may depend on what their friends are having. Okay, so their choices, their demands, their preferences can change very rapidly. Okay, was just an example of how the customers will react. Okay, nobody knows what customers may desire. Okay, nobody can judge, but they can take up such techniques or use up such techniques which help them to get an idea roughly of what are the safe playing zones of the production. Okay, so here however, entrepreneurs have tried to reduce the risk by test marketing. What is test marketing? They ask for your opinion, they ask for what you would like to have. Okay, and based on that research they try to figure out what is best to produce. Okay, even through YouTube, when you watch a video, sometimes you may have seen a survey pops up before playing the video. Okay, they ask you to answer one question. They may show you some brands and ask you which of these brands have you seen advertising online, right? What they are trying to do is they are trying to boost up the products that are not advertising better. Okay, so they ask you whatever products, maybe there are 4 options. Let's say they give us an example of shampoos. Okay, they say which shampoo brand have you recently seen advertising online. Okay, so they may give you some choices, just like one may be Dove, one may be Sunsilk, one may be Pantene, one may be Tresemme. Okay, these are 4 choices. Okay, and you may click on one of them, like maybe you say Tresemme. So you have seen Tresemme advertising recently on your online platforms. So next time they will try to show you other products advertising as well. Okay, so that the marketing of that products are also boosted up. Okay, so that is how marketing risk is dealt with. Alright, next we have technical risks. What does technical risk involve? Sometimes, I hope everybody understood both these types. Are there any doubts relating to them? Okay. Next, technical risks. Sometimes there are revolutionary changes which throws out of gear all the calculations. Okay? The business has to face various types of technical risks because entrepreneurs do not know how long the present product will be in demand. These days, there are fast discoveries which make old products obsolete. Obsolete means outdated. Okay? Maybe not in use anymore. For instance, when ball pens were developed, fountain pens went out of order. When washing detergent was developed, the traditional washing soap went out of demand. When motorcycles with low consumption of petrol was introduced, the demand for two-wheeler scooters has gone down. Okay, so these are some of the examples how companies need to keep on innovating every single day. Okay, they have to keep on being ready to bring about changes. They have to be ready to technically improve the product as much as possible. The need is that as soon as a better technology or a better product comes to the market, the old one gets outdated. Okay, this is the most common example that you can see here around you is cell phones. Okay, every single day there are new cell phones that are launching. Okay, and they are bringing up new ways, new technical innovations and advancements every single day. You may buy a cell phone today and tomorrow there may be an entirely new cell phone launched. What will that make you feel? It will make your product feel old, okay, or obsolete, or not up to the mark. Like the recent development, we can take the example of there's a phone that now folds up into half. Okay, the companies recognize the need that all the phones, all the smartphones are getting bigger and bigger in size, and it's very difficult for the consumers to handle them. Okay, they fall, they slip out of hand, they are very heavy and very clumsy to hold. So what they did is they started making it foldable. You can now fold your phone into half and keep it in your pocket, and when you need it, when you need a bigger screen, you can open them up. Has anybody seen that advertisement? I think it's Samsung. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's Samsung. Okay, so yes, so you have seen it, right? So as soon as that came, all of you may have considered that, yeah, this is a very good option in technology because my phone becomes very heavy and bulky and huge to handle. Okay, they sometimes do not even fit your pockets, and considering that girls' jeans pockets are made comparatively smaller to boys, so that is also a problem. Okay, so these are some of the examples of the technical risks that every organization faces. Okay, Jaya wants me to explain in Hindi. Okay, I'll do that. The technical risk में हमें प्रॉब्लम ये होती है कि हर रोज़ नई टेक्नोलॉजी आ रही है मार्केट में, राइट? उस नई टेक्नोलॉजी के आते ही मेरी पुरानी एग्जिस्टिंग टेक्नोलॉजी आउटडेटेड हो जाती है. मतलब अब मैं अगर मान लो प्रोडक्शन में हम बात करते हैं, आज एक नई मशीन प्रोड्यूस हुई है पेपर प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए, ठीक है? ये मशीन एक दिन में 1 लाख शीट्स ऑफ पेपर प्रोड्यूस करती है. It may be possible that I buy this machine and tomorrow or day after tomorrow there may be another machine that launches which produces maybe 1.5 lakh sheets, ठीक है, जो 1.5 लाख तक शीट पर डे प्रोड्यूस कर सकती है. तो क्या हुआ, मेरी रिसेंटली खरीदी हुई टेक्नोलॉजी ही पुरानी हो गई. ओके, नाउ हर एक बिजनेस ये नहीं कर सकता कि हर रोज़ एक नया टेक्नोलॉजी खरीदे, हर रोज़ एक नई मशीन खरीदे, हर रोज़ एक नया प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च करे. ओके, एक प्रोडक्ट को लॉन्च करने में भी बहुत कुछ इन्वेस्ट करना पड़ता है. ओके, देयर आर मार्केटिंग स्ट्रैटेजीज, इनको देखना पड़ता है, मार्केटिंग को डिज़ाइन करना पड़ता है. आपने देखा होगा अभी रिसेंटली वोडाफोन एंड आइडिया मर्ज्ड. Anybody knows about that? And they are known by Y, V, or they're calling it V. So अभी इतनी रिसेंटली उन्होंने अपना प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च भी किया एंड यू कैन सी बोर्ड्स हर जगह आपको सिटी में भी उनके बैनर्स बोर्ड्स दिख जाएंगे. ओके, अब ये सोचो कि दिस कंपनी इज़ प्रोड्यूसिंग इन द एंटायर कंट्री, पूरे इंडिया में ये अपनी सर्विस प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं. तो इन्हें हर सिटी में, पूरे कंट्री की हर सिटी में, हर छोटी छोटी दुकानों पर इनको अपने बैनर्स लगवाने पड़ेंगे. जस्ट इमेजिन द अमाउंट ऑफ कॉस्ट इट मे बी इनकरिंग. ओके, दीज सेलफोन कंपनीज वर डूइंग वेरी वेल. बहुत अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स था इनके लिए बिफोर जियो केम इन टू एग्जिस्टेंस, है ना. सब लोग आइडिया या एयरटेल यूजुअली यूज़ करते थे. okay? इनकी सर्विस बहुत अच्छी थी, बट जियो किक्ड एवरीबडी आउट ऑफ द गेम. सब लोगों को उसने अलग कर दिया, बाहर निकाल दिया, और जिसकी वजह से इन सारी कंपनीज़ को रैपिडली अपनी टेक्नोलॉजी, अपनी सर्विसेज, अपने प्रोडक्ट्स को नया बनाना पड़ा. इनको अपने सारे प्रोडक्ट्स चेंज करने पड़े. ठीक है, इस जिसकी वजह से टेक्निकल रिस्क फेस किया. ओके, डू यू अंडरस्टैंड नाउ? So that will be all for today. We will continue again tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much, girls.